Very nice to see you. I know how you must hate this. The first thing that's on my mind, and forgive me for opening with this, let me get it out of the way, is that there was an incident some years back where you appeared on a talk show, quite briefly. To give the news slowly, you came out, said a couple of words, and presumably passed out.
Yes, it was in New York.
Yeah.
And
Was it the
I
man's,
can't remember the gentleman's name.
the host? Is he still in the business?
I truly don't know.
I could tell.
Talk about butterflies. I've got armor-clad bats.
That will all pass.
I went onto the show, and I was asked a question, which I answered, I think. I don't know what I said. I don't know what I'm saying now. And I was asked another question, which I believe I answered, and I woke up in a dressing room. My glasses were broken, and I was replaced by a talking dog.
Yeah. Lucky they had one there. What?
There isn't a dog under here.
No. You can keep the dog quiet back there. But how do you explain that? What was it? Was it an actual faint, or?
Oh, well, I tried to pretend it was compounded with a flight I'd made from Japan, which is that curious thing where one leaves Tokyo on Monday and arrives in Los Angeles on Sunday. But in fact, what it is, I suppose, shyness, nerves, and I suppose that shyness and nerves are, in fact, the ultimate in vanity. Because if one is shy, it assumes that someone is looking and listening and caring and giving a damn. But in fact, probably nobody is either looking or listening or caring or giving a damn.
That's a very good way to think of it.
Yes. It's best illustrated by a very eminent English theatrical producer who was pathologically shy. And he would refuse to go to any parties. He was invited to a country house, a rather grand country house, and all his friends persuaded him to go. And he finally went, and during dinner did all the wrong things. He passed the salt and dropped it in the soup, and taken to bed that night, he hadn't got the nerve to ask the butler where the lavatory was.
The bathroom, we say here.
The bathroom. Well, it wasn't a bath he needed, actually.
No.
And
it wasn't to lave himself either.
No. And during the course of the night, he wanted to go to the bathroom, and not knowing where it was, he didn't even know where the light switch was. And so he was stumbling around, and he knocked over what he assumed was a carafe of water. And, oh dear, done it again. And went pootering down the hall, trying to find a light switch. He found the light switch, switched it on, and all over a 17th century fresco were inky hands.
Oh.
He'd knocked over an inkwell. So he went back into his bedroom, packed a bag, 3 o'clock in the morning, and left. And then his friend said, you must go back and explain this. It can happen to anybody, and he's a very reasonable man, and he'll understand. It was about 3 months later, he did in fact go back to the country house and knocked on the door, and there was that formidable butler again, and he said, "Can I see Colonel Breech-Loading Staircase," whatever his name was. And he said, "Yes, sir. do go into the gun room. So he went into the gun room, and there was a large chair, and he lowered himself into the large chair, and on the large chair was a poodle, which he sat on and killed. So he left again. And the poor colonel arrived to find a mangled poodle and no explanations.
And that's how you feel tonight?
That's how I feel.
Oh, I see.
There isn't a poodle on this chair.
Well, I was going to say something.
Yeah.
Oh, that's terrifying. We're just talking about nerves. This interests me. It happens over and over that someone you've seen dazzling on the screen, presumably able to play anything, comes here and feels a terrible nervousness that's very hard to explain. Could you play a calm person at a time when you're terrified? You know what I'm saying? I mean, can you, suppose you are very worried about doing an interview, so you decide to act calm even though you're nervous. Do you then get that wonderful control over yourself that the actor gets when he plays a role, or doesn't that work? Or am I talking about anything?
I think you're watching it now, actually.
You know what I mean?
Act calm, yes. Well, I mean, certainly I can hide behind a very good scriptwriter and a very good play and a very good character who is calm. But now I'm currently being the character and the scriptwriter, which isn't all that easy.
No.
No.
You were an altar boy once. I find that odd. Well, I don't actually know what an altar boy does or did, but...
Prompts nervous priests.
Is that it? If he gets into the wrong, ceremony or whatever, or what ritual?
Yes, I can recall a very close friend of mine who is a priest, and I'd forgotten to bring the bell at the raising of the host, which is the holiest part of the Catholic Mass. And as he raised the host for the Sanctus, 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 there was no bell to ring, and you have to ring it 3 times. So I went ting-a-ling-a-ling.
Oh, it's right. That's a good.
I thought it was...
Actually, it's a...
extreme initiative.
If you're going to go something, I guess ting-a-ling-a-ling is the best thing to say.
The holiest part of the transubstantiation, I could see a priest with his shoulders shaking.
He was amused.
Oh, indeed.
That's lucky. The wrong priest, you could have been ejected from the church for that, I suppose. Your new film has to do somewhat with religion, in strange ways. It's a very unusual film. I don't suppose there's any way you can explain to people who haven't seen it what they're in for. By the way, we didn't mention the name of the film, which is The Ruling Class. I wonder if people seeing that little bit that they saw know what to make of it, whether it's... what would you call the film if you had to put it... Somebody says, say, what's this new film you've done? Is it comic, tragic, pastoral?
Yeah.
Polonius.
Historical?
Well, I've been asked, obviously, many times, what I'm sure I had a very good reason when I did it. What can I say? The thing that made me want to do it first was I was lying in bed reading it, and I kept on falling out of bed laughing. It's an hilarious script, and I've seen audiences falling about, not out of bed, we don't supply beds, but laughing. And then I read a little more, and I was deeply disturbed, unquiet. And I read back to say, did I really see that? And indeed I did. And then I read on, and before I could get into my role of being deeply disturbed, suddenly I fell out of bed again. I was laughing again. And I did this classical error of trying to categorize it. And I out Polonius. Tragical, comical, historical, philosophical, farcical, epistemological, and I did 7 cerebral somersaults and wound up on my metaphorical arse. And well, it is I've said a comedy with tragic relief.
Yes. Yes.
And it does not do what it's told. It simply does not do what it's told. And I find increasingly that we, forgive me if I include you, ladies and gentlemen, we are increasingly told what to do, how to behave. We have an etiquette of what to feel given certain situations. We're becoming squashed. There's an aeroplane firm which advertises itself as the Earth Shrinker. Priestley, J.B. Priestley, loves the word shrinker, shrink, shrink, shrink. We're being shrunken. We're made to conform. We're having the sap, the living, quick, crushed out of us. And ruling class, in fact, and as in life, it's reflected, I think, in cinema and theatre as well. If you make a comedy, it has to be a small little comedy and be funny. If you make an epic, it has to be long, involving a cast of thousands. If you make an experimental film, it has to cost very little, with some poor sod with a handheld camera and 2 people who are paid nothing. If it has to be a musical, everything grinds to a halt while someone stands up and grinds out a number. Whereas my friend James Coco, do you know James Coco?
Yeah.
Who is from the Bronx, would say, what is all this? Do the lot. And in fact, in ruling class, what am I talking about? I just come bored with small, tiny, explicit things that explain us. I want scale, I want imagination, I want mystery, and above all, I want humor. And this is what attracted me to the ruling class.
Hey, and you'll get all that from me. That's very, very well said. I can see that. You have to see the film to understand it. There's no, to get any idea. I've never seen a film quite like it. I've never seen anybody play madness on the screen as thoroughly and completely and chillingly as you do in some parts of this film. So convincingly that I don't quite know how to compliment you on it.